Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam once again with you. In the last video, we had discussed a lot about how the stock market has behaved, especially from the month of October onwards, how it touched a top of 18,600 and from there it fell to approximately 16,500, which is a drop of 2,000 points. Okay, and we also discussed in terms of how it rebounded from December 20th approximately onwards, and it was on the verge of crossing 18,000, but because of this news about this Federal Reserve tapering their asset purchases, balance sheet reduction, rise in interest the rates, and taper tantrum and all that, we had already put up a video giving details in terms of what each one of those are and what kind of an effect they can have on the stock markets of the emerging markets, with specific reference to the Indian stock market. I've already put up a video on that subject, and I would request you to refer to that those videos as a background information. Now in this particular video, we will be talking about an overview of how good companies in each sectors are doing. A very broad overview. We will not be going deep into companies and earnings and specific data points, but just an overview in terms of what these sectors are and how much each of these sectors contributed to the Nifty as a whole. That is what we are going to look at in today's video. Now if you look at today's market, right, some companies have done exceedingly well, because some of the names that come to our mind are your UPL, they have done extremely well, your UPL, your Titan, your Hero Motors, Maruti Udyog. These companies have recorded more than, I think, 3 to 4%. Each of these companies one single day, guys. UPL has recorded 4% is what we get if we wait for a whole year in savings bank. So that's how these companies have performed. But of course, in the stock market, we cannot guarantee that stock prices will keep on increasing at an increasing rate. Okay, so broadly we will be talking about how the earnings have been in the last 2 or 3 quarters. Typically, if you look at the June quarter, we had recorded approximately 120% growth, right? But that was probably because it was a growth from a very low base. Remember, we had this second wave of corona and host of other issues, your semiconductor issues, your container issues, and your third wave, all those second wave, all those dragged the market, and therefore the June quarter did extremely well because it was from a very low base. If you look at the September quarter, I'm talking of overall all companies. In September quarter, we recorded approximately, Nifty recorded 36% increase. So that was probably because June had already done well, and you cannot hope to expect 100 3-digit growth anymore. So it was 36%, and the last month, that is December, they recorded approximately 22% growth, because that was again from a higher base. But overall, we can be very confident that growth has been taking place at an aggregate level. But one thing that is surprising all economists is this growth has happened only in 4 sectors. You have a host of sectors in the Nifty index, your cement sector, your steel segment, your host of sectors, telecom sector, whole lot of other sectors are there, but the growth has actually come from 3 or 4 sectors. Typically your metal sector, your oil sector, your banking sector, those sectors have done well. But leaving aside that, your remaining 11-12 sectors have added nothing to the stock market profits. This is something that each one of us need to look at detail. I will be doing a very careful analysis and study of all these sectors, which are some of the top weights, big weights in these sectors, and how they have done. I will be coming up with a video, but this is just an overview. But if you look at the year-on-year earnings, guys, there have been a margin contraction. Very surprised. I don't have that data with me right now, but I will look through the data and give you another video presentation where I will be focusing on all these things, because these things will help you decide on the right stocks to pitch, because there is a irrational exuberance going on everywhere. Everybody is putting their money into stock markets, hoping that there is a gold mine in stock market. There is, of course, stocks have come up, but we have to tread this road with a lot of caution, right? Okay, I'm not saying it is bad. In fact, we have done a lot of good things despite all the challenges. Look at this stock market on the positive side. Despite all these challenges, we are talking about the headwinds in terms of your cost push inflations, your supply side constraints, your microchip shortages, your geopolitical disturbances happening everywhere, your Russia, Ukraine, US every once in a while coming and threatening the world that they will increase their interest rates, etc., etc. We have not seen big damages. Frankly speaking, these sectors have really done well, and the stock market is in a very good shape. Look at the Nifty index. Yes, I'm talking both about positives as well as negatives, right? Okay, there are some sectors of concern, because typically when you think about those sectors of concern, your consumer durables, which have been doing extremely well in the past, but they have not done considerably well. Look at Hindustan Liver, look at ITC. Those companies have not done, we can't say well, but you know, the performance has not been up to the mark. But if you look at the other companies, especially in the discretionary market, your Asian Paints, your Titan, your Astra, your Pidilite, those companies have extremely done well. So within the consumer durables, if you see, discretionary spending consumer companies are doing extremely well compared to the other companies. What makes that difference? Very, very clear. Remember C.K. Prahalad. Money from the bottom of the pyramid is not coming. Any company which is in that space, the bottom of the pyramid, those companies are not doing well. Whereas the discretionary spends like your Asian Paints and these companies are doing well, because their main customers are all in the top of the pyramid. In fact, Hero Motors, I think Bajaj Auto, the chief of marketing, Sharma, was talking about it. Rajesh Sharma, I guess. He was talking about it. The sales of Hero Motors have fallen down because consumption is not taking place at the bottom of the pyramid, and that's where most of your motorbikes come from, right? Anyway, Shashank Srivastava from Maruti had a different point of view. He openly said in the CNBC TV in his interview with Lata that he will not agree to that, and he was saying Maruti is doing well. Of course Maruti will do well because it's on the top of the pyramid, and today if you look at Maruti stocks and shares, they are more than, I think they've already touched 8,200. And some people are expecting Maruti to touch 9,000 rupees. I've already talked about it in one of my earlier videos also. It might even touch 10,000 rupees in the next 1 year or so, because Maruti sold for 10,000 rupees. I think some 3 years back, I think 2018 or 2017, I don't exactly remember. I'll be putting up a separate video on Maruti also, right? This is as far as the consumer durable is concerned. The next one, when you talk about automotives, automotive companies have not been doing well at all. In fact, for the last 5 years, last 4 or 5 years, the earnings from automobile have been very, very low, and there have been disruptions, especially in the two-wheeler segment. A lot of other companies have come in and they've started eating away the shares of companies like your Bajaj, Hero Motors, etc. Look at Hero Motors where it is. I think in the last 1 week, Hero Motors have picked up quite well, but look at their share prices, how it was. It was 4,000 and 4,500 at one point of time. Today it's selling for some 2,600. I'm not very sure how much is it. So we are in the, I think, 4th year of an automobile down cycle. In fact, if you look at profits of automotive companies, it used to be 30,000 crores. Now this year, if you see, it's not even 17,000, 16,000, which means ideally a 50% reduction in profits. They are all facing this headwinds, especially input prices, They raise their prices once in a while, but obviously you cannot pass on the entire price rise to customers, right? Okay, so these are some of the issues affecting the automotive industry. The other than that, the electrification of vehicles. Some companies, automobile component companies, are doing extremely well because of this electric vehicle space. Not just Tata Motors. Look at Tata Motors. It's also electrification. They have come up with making huge investments on electrical vehicles, right? And the design of Tata Motors. These are some of the factors which has helped Tata regain its past ground. All right, not just those companies, you have other companies like your JBML, your Minda, your Motherson, KP Tech, KPIT Technologies. The company is doing extremely well. They are also doing IT related things for automobiles. I'll be coming up with a separate video on that. Watch the stock, guys. KPIT Technologies. Even Goldman Sachs has given a report that this company will do extremely well, and they have projected approximately 20 to 25% EBITDA margins for this company. Let's see how things pan out. And now we will talk about this IT industry. IT has been doing extremely well in the last 2-3 years. Everybody keeps talking about high valuations, etc., etc. But the momentum is so high that these companies continue to grow, whether it is the large cap company or mid cap or small cap companies. All companies are growing in this IT space. There's a huge momentum now, and people expect that they would be able to put up the same performance during the coming year also, right? Okay, guys, I've not been able to give you lots and lots of data as far as the market is concerned, but whatever extent possible, I've given you an overview of what is happening. And in the coming days, especially tomorrow, my target is to put up one video on I have some companies in mind. Your KPIT Technology is one company that I have in mind, because they are bucking the trend, and a lot of experts have already started talking about KPIT Technologies. I will try to put up a video on that, and that's it for now. Now, if you look at the outlook of stock market during the next week, we just can't say anything, because today it was on the verge of touching 18,000, but then it attempted to cross that. It did cross that, and it stopped at 18,003. But lot depends on what happens in the US market, and I will try to analyze some of these figures and try to come up with another video tomorrow. Till then, this is Dr. Sadasivam signing off. Till we meet again. Bye bye. Jai Hind.